Hello, hello. Hello, Sophie. Thanks for the luck. Hello, Chaotic. Yeah, let's see. We're definitely getting close to finishing this. I imagine I still don't know for sure the exact date, but I think the sometime during the week before the expansion or the weekend before, one of those two. So I imagine it'll be around October 13th, give or take a couple days. Well, it wouldn't be before that. October 13th or a couple days after that is when I expect we'll be doing the run. That seems pretty reasonable for a goal based on how much is done and how much free time I think I have until then. Because, yeah. Or when I think I can reasonably set aside 12 hours to do a run. I think we should be good around there. We have, let's see, I don't think we're missing anything in our base. We haven't, we need to do a lot of stage testing, and then we also need to set up roboports. So my guess, now I don't know if this would cause problems, but basically I want roboports to be placed really early, robot roboports and power poles. But what I'm thinking I might do is do all the roboports and then kind of just build everything for that stage in the stage before it. I think that's pretty reasonable, and it should be pretty easy to stage that way because it will be only roboports and all roboports, all small electric poles. We can stage one stage early because we can set a moving filter, I think. Yeah, this thing. We can set a nice little filter. So that'll work. I think that'll work well. Another option is to just do all of the roboports immediately and all the power poles, but I think you can get into some issues with like bots that way, so I don't know, kind of scared to do that. Now we haven't left space for roboports in a lot of this base, so it's going to be a little bit annoying to do. Let's see, what's the range of a roboport? Yeah, so we're gonna have to. Well, we can put them like here pretty easily. I think if we move this coal belt, or sorry, if we move water, it's possible that we can bridge this gap. Oh, that is so close. Okay. I imagine we can do a. If we do one underground here, we can put a roboport here. It's not the end of the world in terms of player time. Although it might be able to just go there. That might be close enough. It's okay. We're definitely gonna have some weird coverage, that's for sure. I don't actually see a great way to get that mall covered now that I look at it. But I think that's fine. Basically, a lot of it will just be we figure out what we don't need. Like, we can probably cut a single, let's say, we can cut a single red science, and then everything, or we cut a couple of the red science or something. Now we can fit a roboport in here without complicating this build. So we can figure stuff out. It's a little bit messier than I would like, but that's fine. I think planning to put roboports in a weird spot later is better because we do have Gotlap that we have to worry about. So I didn't want to build a whole base around it from the start, but I mean, lesson learned. I think we'll fix that in the revision, so it'll be okay. I don't know why I cut that. It also doesn't do anything. Let's see, do we have instant deconstruction and blueprint building on again? I don't think yeah, we disabled that to test something the other day. Okay. And there is one thing that I am concerned with. I wasn't thinking it would be a problem because initially, I don't know what those are doing there. Initially, I was thinking I would be very mechanically limited during most of these connections, so I wasn't considering close patches. But I think I'll be able to do a lot more of these train connections than I thought before I have to switch to a controller. So we will be, we might, well, I won't say we will be, because I don't, the benefit is pretty small, but it is there. I don't know how much time investment it's worth on my part. But if I delete all of the trains and make them a separate blueprint that I build later, I then have the option to manually connect patches. Because with a base this large, there is a very good chance that this needs copper, and there's going to be a copper patch like right here, or an iron patch that I can send down. So that saves about 40 wagons, something like that, or it's about 40 wagons, maybe 36. I don't remember exactly. I think it's 6, 7, 7. So it's 35 wagons and 5 locomotives, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. 10 locomotives and 35 wagons for every single train we don't build. It also saves a little bit on inserters, and rail, but honestly, I don't care about that. I mean, it is like 400 entities, 500 entities. We'll obviously have to keep these because those fuel our base. But I think that that's an option. Have not fully decided on it yet, but it would allow me to get a lot of patches a lot quicker, or some patches a lot of quicker. I did some testing, just copied it to a fresh world, and realistically, I was able to get like two on each side connected without a train. Any more than that benefits from a train, or at least is it's in that range where it's not really strong either way. So I would just go with what's easiest, which in most cases is the train. But yeah, that means we'll need to come up with a new outpost design that has 300 and about 360 drills. What is this? Oh, this is supposed to go to outposts. Okay. But yeah, that's what we'll be working on today, and the power plant. Those are the goals. Do I have any easier goals that I can start with though? Let's see. Water connections, power plant, trainless patches. All of those are a lot of work. Let's see. Are there smaller things here? Oil cracking, chem plants, train logic. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know what I want to start with. Why is this one of my only builds that has power poles? That's weird. Okay. Um, I don't think I can fit power poles in there, can I? Most of my builds don't have any issues fitting power poles, but that one the one I looked at is like the only one that doesn't. This might have trouble as well, right? Yeah, we might have to use medium poles for these. Oh wait, do we have medium? Hmm, interesting. Um, there's ways there's definitely ways about this. I think we'll just have to sacrifice some entities, but I don't see why we couldn't add power poles. Like I think we can fit one here, for example. Oh, that doesn't power it. Hmm. Yeah, I forgot how dense I made this one in particular. That's okay. If we do have to get medium poles, this is like a grand total of. I mean, even those barely fix it, but they would work. We would just move this down one. But yeah, if we do have to use medium poles there, I think between all of the builds that are like this, that's a grand total of maybe 25 medium poles. Well, we can't handcraft those, but we can throw an assembler down earlier and like stuff it full. And I think one inventory full will probably get me enough poles. Yeah, we can figure something out there. Let's see. Steel stacks to 50. No, steel stacks to 100. Copper stacks to 100. Sticks stack to probably 100. Yeah. Okay, so that would give us 25 poles if we can just handcraft one of them. Not the end of the world, not great, but it is an option. We should have electric network research by this point, because after we do Gotlap, our expansions are a little bit slower. then electric, well, our electric builds are always a little bit slower than electric builds because we're using burner inserters. But that also means the window between, but our science is actually not that much slower. So between green science to blue science, there's a larger window, but we have the same amount of production, which means we can get more techs like electric energy distribution for medium poles, big poles a little bit early. We can get stack size a little bit earlier. All that good stuff. Oil cracking for petroleum. Okay, so we need to figure out where exactly petroleum is being produced and how much we need. So these, I believe, all connect to basic oil processing, and I think these are the only ones. So that is 432 petroleum gas used per second, which that is assuming max speed, which realistically none of these run max speed, but I think we should plan around that. This produces 126, and this produces 22. So we are not even close to enough. Is it enough for this? Let's see, 272. So initially we only need this to run. So that's 128. So we have enough for this. We do not have enough for these to run and for these to run. So we need these. Where does this go? Ah, okay. So we will set a tank, I think. Probably, let's see, here. Here seems reasonable. What layer is this? It doesn't really, don't really have one. We'll call it 2.3. These are only set up early because, like, they're not needed. These are only set up early because I needed a visual whenever I built that, but they're not necessary early. So 2.3, that's totally fine. Let's see, where do we have petroleum? We could come from here, and then we can go over, and then we can do this connection, and then we do a stage move down to 2.2. So that way I know where not to build. Okay. So that has petroleum on it. So now if I go back to this layer, this should produce a lot more. So for 374 plus 148, so that's 450? No, 550, which is more than enough for this. Okay, so that is perfectly fine. Now we add a tank up here at this connection with a pump. There we go. Tank. Can we move this down? Not really, so we'll just add the pump there. Pump. Regular pipe. Yeah, that's totally fine. It doesn't interfere with anything, right? Yeah, and we do this connection. Okay, that works. So this, we only want to run if solid fuel is like greater than 20k or something like that. Honestly, it doesn't need to be that high. It just needs to be able to prioritize the other direction. Let's do 15k. Honestly, these fill pretty fast, so that should be all right. And now we're cracking stuff and turning it into solid fuel. We can also, wait, are we cracking anything into light oil though? I don't think we're cracking anything into petroleum, and that is because we didn't really need a lot of petroleum. But I think we should be able to crack petroleum. That seems reasonable to me. So we can send this over. That is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. Okay. If we do, well, we want it to only crack the buffered stuff, right? So maybe we do something like this. And then if that's full, then we start cracking into petroleum. That could work well. Because this can get all of it, right? We pass it through the bottom. Yeah, so all of these connect here to this one tank. So it would make sense if we then crack excess. I don't know how early we make pumps. We might have to hand make some pumps. They're really, really easy to do though, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, we can keep the same logic, we just make it light oil. Now we flip it. Now I don't think this is definitely not the right ratio, but realistically, these will be running my base and be consumed completely. It's just when they first go up, they might not necessarily be being consumed to their fullest. And then this gets cracked as well, and this gets prioritized. So yeah, that's the same general idea. We could also try connecting these up there. I don't know, that will cause imbalances. I don't want those ones connected. Okay, I think that works. And then voila, a little bit messy, but it's not it's not that important for this one to be clean, so I'm not worried. Okay, let's do the water connection, and then we'll do the other ones. Yeah, this isn't hand built, and the amount of savings I have from pipe is just so low. Like the cost of pipe is just completely negligible. So it's not really something I want to spend a lot of time optimizing, right? And then this water can now, I don't know what this was supposed to be. Oh, that was me just copying the pattern. Okay, so that's water and then light oil. Uh, okay, I mixed those up. Totally fine. Not a big deal. And this shouldn't have any pressure issues. Okay, so that's really all I need to do. I could actually stagger them, make this a little bit closer, but as long as it's within a roboport, it really doesn't matter. And even if it's not within a roboport, it also really doesn't matter how close that one is. Fluid delay is very, very low. Okay, so now this will prioritize, it prioritizes fuel, but it does crack if this fills up. Or do I want it the other way around? Which do I care more about? Uh, I think this is the way I want it. Yeah, we want to only crack the excess, because this is more efficient in terms of solid fuel, and if this gets cracked first, it's most likely just going to be turned into fuel up here, because there's enough production over there. Okay, that looks good to me. With the way this is set up, this actually goes... Hmm. I don't want this to go to the tanks, but I think it's going to have to be able to. The tiny update you saw for normal 100%, there's 3 storage chests for poles and at least one is unfiltered, so you think they're all likely unfiltered to work as garbage collections. If I had to guess, there's at least one filtered one in there. Um, there has to be at least one filtered one in there. That would be too risky otherwise. But two unfiltered ones is fine. I'm not worried about that because we'll have garbage. We'll have a garbage storage chest somewhere else. Um, so I don't. We can't fit a third, and I want at least 2 filtered ones. I think otherwise. Well, oh, one filtered might be all right. We'll check the power pole count after we get that all hooked up, I guess. I don't really know where we're gonna put power poles, honestly. I might have to cut random furnaces and assemblers and just accept like a couple percent loss in production. But yeah, we could probably unfilter one of them once I get a. Yeah, there are lots of gaps. Unfortunately, the gaps aren't large enough for power poles or for roboforts in many spots, which is kind of unfortunate. Were we building this on the right layer? Oh, we actually were. Cool. Oh, look at that. What the heck? Oh, it's not within reach. I was really confused how this was powered, but this wasn't. Okay, I think I hooked this up properly. So now it can crack excess stuff. How much can this actually crack? I don't really need it to be able to crack everything. Just a little bit. So that can consume 135. This produces 308. So this can only crack up to half of what we're producing. Which I think is enough, right? So if this can crack half, this produces at half rate. That still gives me 176 plus whatever this cracks, which is 90. So that gives me 260 plus these. So that's 400. These don't run full speed. I don't think. Don't know why those have speed modules, actually. Well, I know why they have one speed module. I don't know why I have this many. I doubt I can... Oh, okay. I can technically produce that at full speed. But all of them combined. Gotcha. Okay, so the speed mods are to give me more production later. And it looks like I might have to upgrade this to a red belt at some point. Or I just have this oversized because I won't have stack size. That's also a very likely option. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. Well, okay, let's just look at these. This has 6 input inserters, which means this max speed would be, let's see, 3.2, 9.2. There's no way I would make this a red belt, though. So I think I want to run this at 7.5, and then this just consumes the rest of it. Ah, okay. So yeah, this is definitely oversized. Don't know why it has speed modules. So yeah, your rule of thumb for cracking in normal runs is have enough to crack everything. That way production doesn't get stopped by excess heavy light oil. Well, it never gets stopped. It just slows down a little. Like if your cracking isn't sufficient. So I only need enough cracking to make it that this can run, right? So we don't need to be able to crack all of it into heavy oil and light oil. We just need enough to be able to run these builds. And that saves like 10, it saves like 30. It saves like 30 chemical plants. Yeah, I wanted to make sure my math was right. As long as we have our priorities properly set up, then we're good. Because, yeah, these will prioritize sending fuel there. If light oil backs up, this go there. Heavy oil. Heavy oil is actually... I think heavy oil is overcracked. Actually, it's not. Okay, so I can crack all heavy oil, but I can't crack all light oil, and that's because I don't need it as much. Ah, okay, it makes sense now. But yeah, that... how did that happen? How did that happen? Huh. I don't know. We did connect them wrong initially. Maybe it's just now filling up. Oh, I didn't post this stream announcement. Whoops. I have now. There we go. I'm curious. How much is this? 400. Oh, yeah, it is 50-50. Okay. Difference between normal and speedrun then? You just like cracking every... Yeah. For us, saving Saving chemical plants when I know for sure I don't need something is worth it. Like extra stuff that will never matter, I want to cut. Which is why we have a bare minimum here to handle this. I don't love this. I don't like that. Is there any way I can bypass these? I think I'll have to accept that I have to handcraft a single pump during the run before they're automated in the mall. Because the thing is, this mostly works, except this can also get cracked here, and that messes up the ratios. So we actually need to sideload this at a spot that is one directional, which could be something like this. Yeah, it could be something like that. And I think that just with the way that I have this set up, we just need this to be a one-way valve. Because these can get cracked, but... Well, does it? Hold up. If I can connect this to this... I could make this the one-way valve. It's more entities, but it's easier early on. That might be worth it. Normal 1% handcrafts and pumps right after making the car. I don't even know if we're making a car. It depends when we get... It depends when we get exoskeletons. But there's a good chance we don't need a car with our time goal. I don't know if a car will actually help. Not like that was what you were trying to sell. I just was realizing we probably don't need a car, huh? This should be the same stage as the other oil then. That's the rate calculator. I was wondering why it wasn't working. Okay, so the idea here is that we can pass this through. Yeah, I figured it would probably be around there. I was just thinking, like, I genuinely don't think that I have a use for a car. I don't see a world where we benefit from it, unless we just happen to go a lot faster. But yeah, I don't think we will. Okay, so that's a little bit weird, but it accomplishes what I want, right? So the idea is I don't want to have to make a pump here. But if this is overcracked, I want this to be able to go that way, and then it just is going to kind of loop, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't think it will back up things. Basically means instead of cracking through here, we crack everything through this one first and then up. We could probably skip this one entirely, but I'm not sure when the build order will be, so that's why we're not. I'm not entirely sure on the staging, so that's why this is separate. I might just be able to connect these there, though. I might not need cracking anymore. The car might still be useful. You're not sure how fast legs versus car is, though. It is not that much faster. It's really not. Like, we're only going a couple hundred tiles. So the speed, the car speed does not change much. Right? So it's very low priority. If we make it, we will, but it's not in our base. If anything, it's got to be handcrafted. Well, you know what I mean. But the player moves like 9 tiles per second. Which means it will take like 20 seconds to walk to a patch. Messing around with a car will also take that long. Unless I just practice driving it with a controller. Hmm. When are these built? We could send this over there, and I could connect these. Then we don't have to have this weird loop thing. So does this need logic at all then? It should, yeah, it should probably keep the logic. Oh, we don't need this one. Okay, right now we have stuff go here, it loops down, then goes back. Yeah, I don't like that at all. It works, but there's really no reason I can't coordinate these together, considering we are cracking. The only reason I wouldn't is because this cracking does not have logic on it, but that is fix. It's fixable. We do have to shift everything by one tile. Because the way this is set up in the compact way, it's not actually fixable quite yet. But there are ways to fix it, because if I'm doing this, we need to make sure that this gets prioritized over cracking, which yeah, does save me from building this at all. Do we need any way to handle extras petroleum? No, because it would be handled over there. Okay. Because this is just, this is size to burn all of this stuff. So the amount that this produces does not increase the, yeah, it's not going to be oversized. It's not going to be undersized by that much. So let's get rid of that. That also means we no longer need this weird belt that gives priority. Because this should be built like as soon as bots are up, right? And we didn't have it in this stage anyway. Yeah, it's going to be used. It's only going to be used for lube. So realistically, I probably don't need to prioritize it. I think if I just have this belt going that way, it probably is fine. So like there's a very good chance. Wait, what the heck? Why is that? Why is that there? There's a very good chance if I do this that we still just always get enough lube, especially if we make it a one-way valve, um, so it doesn't drain the tank. Because like pressure-wise, this should prioritize this side, and then e even if as little as like 3 of these go there, I think it works out. And then these all get prioritized, so these should always be running full speed because they are the most prioritized belts. That should work. So the issue with that is fluid distribution causes some problems. So we can't really do just like a raw connection. We need to make sure that any of these can make it to the lube plant, because there's a very good chance that this one would back up, but like this one will run full speed and make it that this never runs or doesn't run often enough. So that's what we're trying to avoid. And then this tank is necessary. This one is also, well, this one's probably not necessary. It depends how much I think I'll produce throughout the run, but I'm assuming I don't need it, right? And then these can stall, I don't care. I don't care if these two get choked. If these choke because this is running, then I don't need these anymore. So that's the idea there. So the only thing we need to get out of here now is light oil, which has no conditions. What the heck? Oh, did I connect the wrong one? Yes, I did. I just kind of assumed heavy was the higher one. There we go. But yeah, if these stop running because these are offline, I'm fine. That's why I redid it. And then this no longer needs an output. So now we just need the buffer tanks. Which, I don't know, I could do like 4 or something. I don't really care that much about those. Okay, so those go up. Light oil can only go one way. Although that part doesn't matter that much. It's just a one-way valve because that seemed easier. But it could also connect through here. And probably work just fine. Yeah, because if we don't care about these, we could connect it without a pump just through the middle, huh? Did that connect? No, it did not. Thought something fell off. Okay, now this can just go up. Wait. Yeah. Okay, it can go here. Okay. So now this connects to all of that. That gives it a buffer tank, which it really doesn't need, but it doesn't cause any problems. This goes to here. This goes to there as well. And it is prioritized. It doesn't have like a one-way valve, but it is prioritized over this side. You're not sure about having that many storage tanks? So we just need to make sure that I can get enough oil to research to get up to this point if plastic stops running. So it won't cause any issues. The only downside is it costs a little bit of iron and steel, right? So like there's no problem with it. It just makes it that heavy oil will run longer and I won't have any issues. I don't know why I have these connected like this. I should probably swap which lane is which. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the tanks aren't going to go down until advanced oil goes up. It's just to make sure that these don't overproduce compared to these ones, since I'm not sure how large of a window there will be between this and actually consuming petroleum throughout my base. So yeah, once this goes up, things get better. This is self-balancing, so that's nice. Anyway, we really don't need to worry about stuff like that. If the save is like 2 tanks, we don't need to worry about it. We need to lower our standards very significantly when it's stuff like that, because we only have 2 weeks. Okay, so we need 430 oil for that. I believe we have 2 other plastic lanes and 1 other sulfur lane somewhere. Actually, do we have sulfur? Yes, we have sulfur up here. So this plastic and I believe there's another plastic up here. These should be the remaining petroleum we need in the base. So that is 1100. Okay, so that's an entire pipe of petroleum that we need to get out of our base. So we need to figure out how to do this. Okay. So obviously the easiest way to get petroleum is to crack stuff from these. So I think we just take whichever ones are close and crack those. That should be totally fine. So let's treat it in parts. So this needs 600. So we'll take these. That produces 400 by itself. That's fantastic. And then if we crack it, I'm assuming we can get the last 180. So to do this, we need a tank, which unfortunately we can't put in a great spot. Let's see. Okay, so we can start at 3.2. That works because these are all up and running. Okay, and we can't mess with any of the pipes either. Oh, this is going to be annoying. What we do to this, we need to do to every single train, I think. If we want to change... Well, we have two ways we can do it. I don't know which one's better. Keeping them the same makes the most sense. Because if I want to be able to do connections with belts and not just trains, that changes things. Because then I need every train station to be identical to one another, which includes any tank. Which we do have these automated, right? Yeah, very slowly, but we don't need that many of them. Oh, that's uncapped. They stack to what, 20 or 50? They stack to 50. Oh, we do cap it. No, wait, no, we didn't. Yeah, let's cap it to 100. Honestly, we could cap it to 50. We don't use many of those. Okay. So we need to prioritize taking petroleum from here and... Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I see it. We pass petroleum through here instead of through here. That's the way to go. That's our out. Okay, so we don't need that. We do need a tank. This isn't even hooked up. We could actually do this. This works pretty well. Or not, because I don't know which ones are connected to where. Oh, sorry, it's the bottom one. The other option... Oh, wait. We don't need to connect this one to a tank. We just need to connect it to the tank logic. So that would be like this, right? So then we take a tank. Oh, can this reach? Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. So this, we don't need a high buffer at all. We just need a buffer. So we'll make it like 5,000? A quarter of a tank? That seems reasonable to me. You know, there might be a spot where it doesn't need an angle. Let's see. No, because they're on a pattern. Never mind. Okay. So I think because we don't have any pressure issues, this should work fine, like just as an open valve. Taking from a tank, I think would run a little bit better, but it's not a major concern, and there's still enough space to get this out. Although this doesn't need this will no longer need a pipe. Okay, I'm happy with that. So if we have this in every single train station, I think that's totally fine. It's not going to increase the cost very much. And then we don't need to add cracking to every train station. If we do cracking outside, then we don't have to worry about making sure the train stations are all the same. And we should be okay. Because obviously we're already cracking this. So now we need... Actually, do we need cracking? Yes, because I'm not sure how much fuel we'll consume on average. So we do need to be able to crack everything eventually down to petroleum. But this doesn't need to be prioed. So we can just connect it here. and then do cracking like at the bottom, and then loop it back here. Ooh, maybe I do want it to be a one-way valve. Because I don't think I necessarily want to crack stuff without priority and then burn it. maybe it'll be fine. Actually, yeah, it'll be fine. We don't have enough pipe pressure here to worry about that, do we? So I'm really unsure how we do this. Okay, so we have this. This is the stuff that we do want to prioritize going towards plastic. So this part's set up correctly. And then plastic is way up there, but yeah, that's because we're connecting this train as well. Okay, so that part makes sense. Realistically, we probably won't have a problem. Hello, Wildroid. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, realistically, light oil won't back up because we consume a lot of fuel with burner inserters, but I do want to be able to handle it just in case it does. Oh, has other anti finished his base? I'm setting up oil cracking right now and trying to figure out how I do that without messing with our train station. Because with the way that I was originally going to doing the train stations, it doesn't matter if they're not all the same. But if I'm switching to leaving them empty and only putting a train if I need it, then I probably want to make sure that they're all exactly the same, right? Actually, it doesn't matter. If my blueprint is just the rails and this stuff, it doesn't matter. So if I exclude this from the blueprint, it makes it very annoying to blueprint, but I think it's fine. Because we can just right-click to remove pipes. Maybe it would be good. Why not both? That's what you're doing. He's testing it segmented right now. Nice. His is definitely going to have more testing than mine will. Why do I have a tank there? Oh, this was originally where I was going to take light oil from. That makes sense. What if I do cracking here? That could work. How much cracking do I need, by the way? These produce 230. So I would need about 15 if I want to be able to crack all of it. That's okay. Cracking's deprioed. This still gets enough fuel to run the base as an all-time rate. Yeah, 237. That sends... Yeah, it sends an entire belt of solid fuel to the outpost, so we're good. Oh gosh. I forgot we still had some errors from like older saves with trains before we realized we can't have these. That's fun. I think we're just gonna have to manually copy everything to a different save. Okay, so this part's good. I'm happy with that. I guess the way that these tessellate, I should make sure that's cracking is in line with this at the very least. The cleanup tool, so these types of errors don't get fixed with the cleanup tool, unfortunately. Like if it fully errors out like that, the cleanup tool does nothing. Rebuilding every stage does nothing. So like there are some errors that it just can't fix. So we will just have to manually copy everything to a new file, I believe, is the only way that I know to get rid of those. Like they're too stubborn. Ooh, actually I think I see a good... It depends what the error is. It depends what the error is. Force delete doesn't work on this kind of error either. But yeah, trains in general, if you move them with the stage blueprint mod, it breaks a lot of stuff. We can't. Can we fit cracking in here? No, but it is damn close. Unfortunately, we need one more tile. Well, actually, I can fit cracking here. Oh, it's so perfect. It is really expensive, but it fits, right? That's what matters. We only need to do this twice, so it's okay. Thank you. Literally make that mistake every single time. I don't think I've not done that a single time today. Okay, and then let's buffer it. We can't put logic there. Never mind. That's a bad spot to do it. That's okay. We can do it here. I'm trying to think. There are some other errors that also don't get fixed by it. Rotation conflicts with inserters, or not rotation. Sometimes undergrounds have conflicts with like an inserter, like placed on top of it. Those errors also don't get destroyed with cleanup sometimes. Those are like a 50-50. Some of them do, some of them don't. Those are less annoying though to fix. Or well, they're less annoying because you can find where they are and use force delete a lot easier than with a train. Because for the train, like who, nobody knows where they are, where they end up. Um, this is the more efficient way to do this, right? Yeah, that works. Yeah, I was getting those. That one's annoying because I can't really confirm that it's not just me making mistakes. It just, the places that it seems to be rotated incorrectly just seem like, it seems too frequent, but that one could be user error. But I'm not sure. This one, well, I mean, this one is me using trains, but yeah, there's no way to fix those. Well, not that I can find. You have to find the exact stage the train is broken on and then force delete it. Does this work? Should I rotate it the other way? I think I should rotate it the other way, though. This way. Because I think that makes it easier for me. It really doesn't. Never mind. Hmm. Okay, we'll be able to smart belt over this pipe, so if it's in the way of the connections, it's not the end of the world, but there's also a good chance we'll be able to make it not block it. Like, I think this passes by. Me watching those stations now, who made those belt nightmares? I know, right? Who made them? The world will never know. That's how I feel about most of my base, to be honest, though. So I'm glad we're in the same boat. Okay. So assuming I did this right, I didn't. I didn't do this right. This isn't where it needs to connect. It needs to connect back to the source. Oh, come on. Okay. I think that is what I want. So it cracks excess light oil. Very basic concept. So that way I can make my plastic run better. So that's all this is for. This it can handle most of the heavy oil that's produced. No, it can handle all the heavy oil that's produced. This can handle most of the light oil produced, but not all of it. But we also have to assume that my base will also be consuming oil. And yeah, we should definitely put the logic on. Thank you. That is important. Now this one is just backup cracking, so I actually want this one to be a little bit higher because light oil is better to have than or it's more useful to have in a tank than petroleum just because of this stuff mostly. Although we probably don't need a ton. Maybe we do 10k. Realistically, this backs up fast if it stops running. But yeah, I think I like that. So now this is something that I can paste in every stage that doesn't conflict with the rest of the stages. Because that's really, like, we don't necessarily need the cracking in every stage. We just need the ability to put the cracking in every stage. So is there anything we broke in that process? Light oil, yeah, true. We do want just more light oil in general. Let's do a whole tank. Why not? Realistically though, it's gonna consume most of the light oil, so I think it should be okay. So if we add, how long of a delay does this tank add? 50 seconds. So it adds a 50-second delay before these ones start running, as if there's no petroleum consumption. I think that's okay. Basically, the main thing here is as long as I don't mess with these, we're okay for the staging. So I think we're just gonna have to make our. Yeah, okay. We'll just make it our we'll make our station blueprint exclude all of this stuff. It will only have the belts. Ooh. Oh wait, never mind, never mind. I was thinking these would be in the way. Ooh. Hold on, it is in the way. This does not exist in a world where I don't have a train. So we need a slightly better connection to the tank. Hmm. Trying to think. I will be connecting these with underbelts. They will go right through here. Smart belt would be able to. Okay, so if we left this, if those and those are deleted, the tank still runs. We could also come from a different side, which does use a little bit more pipe, but it also makes the connections easier when I do smart belting. Connection that won't be over prioritized. Yeah, this is so unimportant. I don't know why I care that much about it. So if I don't have a train, we need the vast majority of this still. So the only thing we don't need if we skip the train is this. But like we still need to produce the exact same amount of fuel. So unless we want a completely separate fuel setup that we also paste every single time, the easiest way to do it and not that much more expensive is to just accept that this is going to be here always. Because if we were to fold it over and make it slightly more compact, it would look like it would be this size instead of this size. So that's a lot of manual effort for very little to do, for very little benefit. Because we still need just as much of the fuel. Because without a train, all of this fuel still goes to supply itself. But yeah, we can connect to the side, and not easily. Or rebuild fuel setup to paste if you need to paste train. If needed, you can just choose what you need at this spot. Yeah, I don't like that idea at all. I think it adds a lot of complexity for, like I said, very little gain. So it doesn't have much of a benefit to split it up like that, is what I'm getting at. Um, we're complicating the blueprint to save like 50 belt or 50 pipe at the end of the day. So if we always keep the fuel as part of our main blueprint, it's just so much easier and so much more consistent, and it's not going to slow anything down. But I like this connection a lot more. But yeah, I want the fuel to be part of the main base staging, is what it boils down to. Um, Stations I don't mind being a separate blueprint, but fuel needs to be part of the actual main base. Okay, so this is good. Sure. This is so deprioritized, it doesn't matter. All you need is connection for 5 belts. Well, I need connection for 5 belts, and I need all of this fuel. So, like, I don't really see... I don't really get what you're getting at. Is basically what it boils down to. I'm not seeing a benefit, so I might be misunderstanding you. Because we'll be scrapping most of this. We just won't be scrapping any of the fuel stuff. And we don't need to redesign any of the fuel stuff either. It would be easy to work around with refineries if there's no train. And pipes. Yeah. So I was interpreting you correctly. Yeah, it's not something I will be doing. This layout is going to stay the same. Just minus the tracks and the balancer. So just leave this part plus all of the pipes and this fueling belt. Okay, that one's good. Where does this connect? Up there, okay. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we can leave this. That goes there. Then we delete this connection. We add this on top. Could wholly redesign or could separate this when there's a train stuff in the station blueprint. It looks like I'm missing. Did I actually break it? I could see that. Whole redesign, not an option. It's just we're not redesigning something that works really well. It can be an option in the version 2. It's not an option now. Very much not an option now. There's not enough time. Oh, wait, does this not line up different? Oh, this one's different. Okay, well that's fine. Um, hmm, interesting. I forgot that one was different. Why? Oh, there used to be something else here. There used to be something else here. Okay. This should make a lot more sense now. Okay, yeah. Makes a lot more sense. I was wondering why I couldn't do that connection. I must have made this one later. Because this one looks different. Um, 5 belts on the right. Yes, thank you. Then this goes here. This reconnects through the middle. Yeah. Well, so what I think it was that this used to be a bigger train. So the original spacing that I used to have here didn't fit this design. It had to fit the other design, which was one tile shorter. It was the fuel for the fuel train as well, or the stone train as well. But the biggest difference was it was slightly shorter, and now we have this much space for the coal train. I'm realizing now I don't remember how we're supposed to prime coal. Okay. Stack cracking should be good. This doesn't need logic, which is nice. Oh, that's annoying. Coal first priority, plastic. I guess that works. Is there any way I can prioritize this one? Middle pipe in the belts is wasted. Which one? Oh, right. That was back with the old design. Yeah, I wish there was a better way to prioritize this, but I guess it's fine. It is unfortunate that this is incredibly low priority. Should I add a backup of just powering the train with coal? Because this is like the least prioritized train here. I don't really want it to just die. uh, could tap into the new cracking. Well, the cracking only runs after. The problem is this needs to be light oil. It needs to be specifically light oil. I could put a solid fuel belt there, and that's an option. Yeah, honestly, it's not a big deal. Right? Because I think this is very low priority. I think we just accept that that train in particular runs off of solid fuel. So that should be fine. This gets prioritized. It's actually going to prioritize that train, though, because I don't want the train to start and then die. Yeah, I think the way this is set up, this barely has enough light oil to run all of that. So that is like the farthest one. So we would either need logic like here. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. We could also keep the other one. Like, there's a chance we can run it off of light oil, and we can just manually disable this if we change our mind. You misclick yours like 90% of the time? Same. I don't know if I've ever set it properly outside of speedruns where I specifically practiced that motion. Can I shift this one up? I think I can. It will waste a tile, but... Or it will waste one red belt. Actually, no, it won't. No, it won't. Ah! Ah, okay. Mod doesn't like that. I think it's fine. There we go. Realized there was some belt there, so I didn't have to do such a weird connection. Okay, so now... Actually, do I want... I think I do want these with a pump. Now, it's not a pump that has logic on it, or it doesn't need to be a pump that has logic on it, but we do need to make it a one-way valve, because I don't want oil from here going and ruining this one. It might be fine, but yeah, why risk it, right? There's some logic you could do. Yeah, I could... If I put logic, like, down here, Like if I just put a tank anywhere and put logic on it that made it bypass most of this stuff early, honestly, even just a pump like here probably would make it that oil prioritizes that direction. But solid fuel should be fine. Worst worst case scenario, we do a manual change later to swap it to rocket fuel. Another option is actually wait, what stages are these on? Never mind. I was gonna say another option is to get solid fuel from here, but that's a later stage. Okay, so that officially connects petroleum, I think. What the heck? Why is that so far up? Did we connect to the wrong spot? What is this? What is this? Is this sulfuric acid? Okay. That one's sulfuric acid. This is the one we're looking for right now. Uh-huh. Hmm. This is not going to be pretty, is it? Okay, this should be fine. Let's see, one idea, instead of cracking it, is to turn it into rocket fuel for the coal using the solid fuel belt with some logic to turn off the solid fuel inserter to the train. Just broke acid pipe? Wait, does it line up with this one? Oh, is that what that was? What? Wait. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so that doesn't work. Got it. Uh-huh. So we can connect through here. I think it can reach far enough. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Thank you for catching that. But yeah, so your idea was basically still have it produce rocket fuel, but disable this if there's rocket fuel or something. Like that. Honestly, if we keep the assembler, we could have two inserters and then just manually change it if we want. Okay, so this is another thing I'm concerned with. So for this one, we actually need to prioritize this lane, which, based on this really weird way I had it set up, we do. No? What? Wait, where does this get rocket light oil from? Okay. Is that what that looks in the others? No, it doesn't connect through there in the others. Ah, darn it. I think it's fine. I think I'll copy this section into all of them. No, that doesn't work. I guess the main thing is I just have to make it that I can drag something through it if this is deleted. Oh, wait. It doesn't matter. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I forgot. The only reason this matters, or the only reason this used to matter, is because this one specifically needed the tank to still be there. If we don't have a tank here, it's not a problem. Okay, so I don't know how we're going to prioritize rocket fuel. Realistically, it's fine. The main thing is we need to make it that light oil only runs if the tank is full. Which I think we can do pretty easily. Or sorry, yeah, we only produce solid fuel if this tank is full. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Which one's light oil? Okay, that's a little bit annoying, but it's fine. Okay, so we do that, then we do a pump here. Rocket's light oil is greater than... This one we actually don't want to run this one for a while, because we want to prioritize this. Now, this should consume a lot, right? 22. Oh, that's why I'm not worried about it. Yeah. That's why I'm not worried about it. It makes sense now. So yeah, this realistically should be consumed by this point. So we just need such a small amount of light oil. And then we could also take from here and connect this to that lane. That's also an option. But stuff like that, honestly, I see a really easy way to do that. Thank you. Forgot that one. But yeah, I see a really easy way for us to just run light oil from this one, which has full cracking all the way up there, if something happens during the run. But considering we need a total of 22 solid fuel to run this, or 22 light oil to run this, we should be okay. What we really should do, though, is prioritize this, right? Because if we prioritize the own lane, its own lane, then it keeps itself using fuel. Oh, wait, is there a reason? I don't know. Was there... Wait. What kind of prio did that have? Oh, frick. Did that have an input or an output prio? I don't remember. um, I know it had a prio on the left side. I don't remember if it was an output or not. Is heavy oil connection broken? Maybe? Um, doesn't look like it. Input on 90%. Oh, like 90% certain it was an input. Okay, so the way this is set up, it will prioritize turning this into rocket fuel. I think that's all right. Oh, no, yeah, this should be. Oh, I get it. No, I get it now. No, I get it. Yep. Yep. We didn't want to accidentally starve the train by turning all of it into solid fuel. The odds of that are so incredibly low. I thought I had a reason to prioritize the other side. Turns out I don't. Sometimes I do side loads like this, and then have another one that looks like this. So a lot of times where we do splits, we have one that has to be prioed over the other to get a 50-50, but this isn't designed like that. Why is there a splitter into 2 underground and then splitter? You mean this thing? You're talking about this. I don't exactly remember. It had to do with making sure there's enough. This starts faster. But for some reason, I prioed this to the left, and then I prioed input from the bottom, since I think I would rather drain these lanes down here. So this prio is just to make it that this is deprioed over rocket fuel. Yeah, that's really weirdly set up. Hello, Tice. We could probably change it. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference either way. I think we have plenty to make it run, so honestly, I don't think I need to worry about that. Because yeah, 22 light oil per second. This doesn't need to run that fast for that to happen. Okay. So that is one more station down. And then, which ones have tanks? So this one has a tank in a weird spot, but it doesn't block this. This one has a tank. And it will take me a few undergrounds to get past this. Not the end of the world. Prio draining the compressor and prio sending to rocket fuel since that's important for science. That's what it was. This just drained the compressor. Okay. So I just wanted to drain the compressor before I drained new stuff. That seems like something I would do. Thank you. So it was a lot harder for me to check the VODs while also building. So I appreciate it. Okay, so I don't think we haven't messed with any of the inserters. We haven't messed with any of this stuff. Oh, wait, we did mess with that. Oh, but this wouldn't be part of the train blueprint, so it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Because this would technically be part of the outpost blueprint on all of them. Now, it's different for that one than the others, but as long as it's not part of the train, the station blueprint, we're okay. So basically, the idea is we leave everything relating to oil, so all the pipes. We delete all the tracks except for this stuff. Except for the connection for the building train, because that's different for all of them. So we don't delete this part. This part's got to be placed regardless of if there's a train or not. And that's just because if we don't do that, we'll need 20 different blueprints. Well, potentially we need 20 different blueprints. I guess I don't know how different they are. Okay, we probably need like 4, but that's 4 times 2 because of the resources. We need like 8. That's confusing. Let's just keep it to resources, and we should be fine. We do need to label them, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't think that's a huge problem. We can label them with combinators, right? Yeah, I think we can label them with combinators, so I know what resource goes in. The connection point also gives a marker on where to join. Yeah, that's true. But if as long as we leave some rail, it forces it to be in a 2x2 grid. But I imagine we'll need to at least keep this connection. Connection and then the connector. That'll help us line it up. And then we should be good. These are kind of annoying. I'm kind of wishing I built these a little bit closer now. That can be a very low priority if we have time. But because this will make it a little bit annoying to mine a patch if there's a patch like right here. I guess if there's a patch right here, I probably can't get it anyway. So never mind, I don't have to worry about that. This is clearly me thinking I needed to do cracking, and I was like, let's do it in the middle of coal, and then I did this. So that's fine. Move them into the base. Yeah, that's what I meant by farther over. Into the base would be a better description. It would be through here. It's just this section is a little bit rough. It's just this spot that we've crossed so many times. I don't really see a way to not screw that up right now, so that's why it's low prio. But yes, this is where it would go. I don't want to think about that right now. Oh gosh, that's messy. Okay, well that's not connected to power, but that's fine. I know there's another section that needs cracking, and that's over here. So this needs another 500 petroleum. Okay. I should probably check. Does this in fact make enough? So this produces 300, and we need 600. Okay, so yeah, we need 2 of these to go into cracking up here, and then we're good. Looks like we can fit it here, and then we can fit one here as well. Staging wise, actually, staging's a little bit annoying. We should actually connect all of what the hell is this? Is this my sulfuric acid? Oh yes, this was me realizing that I needed like double the sulfuric acid production, and this is what we came up with. It's fine. It's just a little bit awful. Just a tad. Anyway, if we can get petroleum up here as well, these lanes could start while this has surplus, which it will sometimes have surplus. The other option is just accepting that this only runs at half speed for a single stage, which is also fine. Considering these two stages aren't far apart. What the hell is this? And the stream freezes. I like the idea that I just like opened up a demon core or something and crashed my stream with whatever monstrosity I made. Okay, I know I'm making this by hand every time, but it's fine. I'm making it by hand because I want to be sure I don't screw it up too bad. And if we copied in sections, it just makes a lot more sense to me. Although, I mean, these should theoretically be identical, right? Aside from this part. I guess if I don't hold shift, it's fine. Then we can delete all of this weird belt because we don't need that. Okay. So that should be able to just paste here, right? Um, Forgot this is the one that had the splitter. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a lot easier. Wait, which one is this? Oh, this is the one that goes into rocket fuel. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. That's annoying. um, it's fine. It just means we have to build this one by hand. So this most likely won't have anything to crack. That's not the end of the world. But we have to put this in a different spot. What if we go around the side? Is that a bad idea? It's honestly not terrible. With the way this is set up, it will work. True. You know, I'm looking at this now, and this is just a better. This would have been easy. This is an easier spot to do petroleum for all of them. Oh well. Oh well. That's okay. I will output if petroleum is greater than 5,000. Now, the idea here was that I wanted to send this around the edge. Okay. Actually, no, I don't. That's just me being lazy. We really don't want to send it through the edge. That's a lot more pipe. I don't want that. Ooh, is there any way that can make that? I don't think there is. Oh, that's fine. We can weave through. We can weave through the inserters, no problem. Never mind, there's a problem. Okay. We made this messier than I would have liked, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. As long as we don't mess with inserters, everything is okay and the world doesn't end, right? That's what matters. That is not pipe. Okay. And then I think I wanted this to be a one-way valve. So it doesn't steal from the other one. Okay, so this should be good on petroleum. This most likely won't run very often, but it is there just in case. How did I do that for these? It was a little bit weird, right? Yeah, just a little. Autosaves takes so long now. I might decrease the autosave frequency because I don't use it very often. Like, I wouldn't remove them, of course, but I definitely autosave more often than I need. Huh. Oh, okay. I was wondering how that worked. I had a double. I doubled up that one. Okay, so that most likely will not crack it. Ever. Oh, well... Okay, wait. Is the prio set right here? So when it's time for the run, we'll have autosaves on, but there'll be like every half an hour. Like obviously if I have to use an autosave, it's no longer valid for a submission, but I don't want to lose the entire run. Like I would still finish it. Just for the sake of finishing it. If it's like if we're far in. I wouldn't be able to submit it, but I do want to. I do want to have them at least occasionally, so I can finish it like the next day or something. If I don't know, God forbid, like the computer crashes or the world burns down, one of those things. But yeah, they will not be nearly this frequent, and they won't really be long until far into the run, so I'm not too concerned with that. Right now, I think they're every 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's just make it 30 now. Although we'll need to double check all of our settings later. Okay, so this cracking is prioritized over this, which I don't like. So let's actually change that one to, this is 10,000. This one, we don't want to crack unless we absolutely need it. So let's do 20k there. Technically, these are connected to each other, just in a weird way. Okay, I think that works. Yeah, that should work. All this just to get a little bit of extra petroleum. I am slightly worried that we might drain this lane of solid fuel. No, you cannot submit a run that's reloaded. Like if I have autosaves on, I could still submit it. But like if the game crashed, I would no longer be able to submit the run. You're not able to reload saves for 100%. I'm assuming it's annoying because the only thing it changes, it saves a single rocket launch. And I feel like it makes the run a lot less, I don't know, accessible. I mean, you'd obviously still need to like record and stuff the whole time, but I guess if it crashed, they wouldn't know it was crashed. Like if it stopped recording the game. Loading from an autosave can be viewed as splicing. I think the biggest issue is more so that it lets you cheese a couple of the achievements with fewer downsides. Because the rules have been there for a while. I'm not sure if they were that concerned about like splicing. But yeah, definitely would mitigate that as well. I'm just not sure if that's the primary reasoning. Reloading is mostly, yeah, it would be mostly a time loss. In saving an entire rocket launch would probably could be worth 40 seconds, but I'm not sure. Petrol from cracking is broken. Yeah, we haven't hooked it up yet. You can use saves, but you can't load them. That's true. You can technically use them that way. I mean, it technically works, and it makes it that cracking is only used for petroleum, not for plastic, not for fuel, which I like. Okay. Is my balance correct? And will I accidentally starve the lane? I don't know why I have it in my mind that I'm going to be using so much rocket fuel that this doesn't produce anything. Because that's what's like holding me up. This consumes 22 light oil. Yeah, this consumes 22 light oil per second, which means I will lose, well, with this cracking, 10%, I think. Actually, less than that. Well, it's hard to say. These are all solid fuel. So I would say I would drop down to one full belt. What does it take to run an outpost? 360 times 150 needs 54 megawatts at least on average, probably more like 60k. Divide that by solid fuel power. We need 5 solid fuel per second, so it just might make the start delay a little bit lower. You can just scoot that middle petrol line down one. Oh, can I? Oh, no, I can't scoot it down one. I can scoot it down here a little bit earlier. That's still cleaner. Okay. I can't scoot the whole thing because of the train signal, but I can definitely shift that one. Thank you. That the new Nephrim's design was already cursed with a few ideas in hand build phase, but seeing Anti's, it has even more forbidden techniques. Is he still building it around Blippy? I read he was building it or had a lot Blippy as a lot of like the key like electrical placement, but it's apparently fixed. So I'm wondering what the goal is there now. Stupid signal, but glad you were still right. I wasn't sure if you saw the signal or if you were talking about that one. But yeah, definitely still right. That's what matters. Accidentally right is the best kind, right? Oh come on. This is the one spot this can't be. That's unfortunate. This is stage 4.2 for some reason. Okay. Okay, let's delete this, and then we'll finish building this. It's not fixed? I thought they said Flippy was fixed in 2.0. Or planned to be fixed in 2.0. Did I imagine that? Were they just joking? He's always been high on questionable designs. That's true. Yeah, so this copper line, it builds gradually throughout the run. But basically the idea behind it is that I don't need any extra copper until I have mining productivity upgrades. So it's more like we set up a lane for like 4.5 lanes of copper, and then just as we get mining productivity, it starts getting sent upwards and sends like one belt of fuel up here to this remaining lane because we couldn't justify a whole train. So it uses a patch we already have and a compressor, which isn't pictured because it's going to be off the screen, but it uses a compressor and a patch we already have and makes it that because this is still cheaper than a whole train or like a new drill. It's just a little bit weird. Let's see, you can still place 5 at once, but the speed of this is questionable. Ah. I think Blippi's really cool. I still don't see how it helps. I'm a little bit confused by that. But I think it's a really fun tech. But I haven't really seen it in use enough to actually see it be... I don't want to copy the train station in case it's weird. Yeah, I haven't really seen it in use to the point where I can see its benefit in terms of like building speed. I just think conceptually it's awesome, and it has a cool name. Okay, so this should be able to copy the original one. No? Is that the wrong lane? That is the wrong one. Okay. Actually, wait. I've established that... No, I haven't. This is a different design. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. Wait. No. Wait. Is this set up right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This bypasses this. That's why there's so much belt. Okay. You almost think it would be better to just have one copper line that gets directly run there when it's time? Um, Not really. Why would it be better? Um, Unless I just magically have copper that happens to be right there, I have to send a fuel lane to the copper lane, and I have to send the fuel belt, and I have to send the copper back, and I have to power it and bring roboports there, depending on how far it is. So, like, the trade-off is saving 130 undergrounds. I think it will be very, very difficult to make something cheaper than 130 undergrounds. Let's see, second station from the bottom? This one? Yes, it is. Thank you. That's what I get for copying it into parts. But they all look a little bit, all the stations just look a little bit different because they all have to prioritize fuel in like a slightly different way. Which is why I'm so strongly against changing these and making this that I print these separately. Because that's a lot of changes that have to be made and rebalanced. And it's just not worth the effort. Because at the end of the day, it's still more effort than this. Let's see, for even worse, he uses heat interfaces and chest interfaces as markers for he can trap pipes for oils to water. Hold on, no, that's he's onto something. Don't give me ideas. Wait, what? How did I switch? I always switch layers. Oh wait, that can't sideload earlier. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's fine. I didn't realize that splitter was also sideloading. That's okay. We can just shift this over. Can we shift this earlier? Not really. Not in a way that saves anything. Okay, that should be good now, right? This doesn't have logic. Wait, I thought I copied this completely. Did it not have logic in the old one? Oh, I'm confused. It is missing logic here, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, this isn't logicked. Silly me. Um, this is just a one-way valve. This isn't logic. I'm just so used to anytime I put a pump outside of a tank, it should be logicked, right? And then, but that's not the case there. But yeah, does he use combinators in the actual base? Because I feel like combinators, like constant combinators work really well for that too. But I don't use constant combinators in my base at all, so I can use those as markers. So I could see it not working if he does them. He doesn't use them. Then what's the point of using something weird? They just work so well. Unless maybe they mess with bot queue, but I don't know. Okay, so that's connected. Okay, so cracking connects through here. Everything connects through here. And then we haven't reconnected petroleum. Let's see. Yeah, combinators aren't constructed at all, so any and all logic is rather simple. That's what I was thinking. Like, if they're not crafted, I would just want to use those. Because that's what I do. But then again, my base is not something to base other bases off of. For some bizarre reason. Don't know why, but people don't seem to be enthused about my base. Okay, so I broke that connection for all of them, but I didn't replace it in all of them. Okay, I see what the issue is. I think this one has the petroleum in a different spot, right? Yeah, and that's just because I had another tank here. Honestly, I should have just routed this down and over, but it's fine. It's not a huge deal. Okay. So once we connect this, it should be good. Let's see, but from other side, why even use them? But if someone will find a need for them, it is anti. The only thing I could think of would be if you wanted like a more flexible way to change what goes in a train, but that's not. I don't think that's that important. Because you could like use them. You could use them at the train station to be like, hey, this outpost needs slightly more underground. It seems far, and you just bring like 100. But I don't think that'd be worth it. This one I knew this one's unsafe, right? We don't need it though. Actually, why is this one unsafe? Why is that different than the others? Oh, that's in all of them. Okay, I can read from the belt. I didn't realize that was well, hmm. So we can either make it safe or we can just delete it. It's honestly just deleting it's probably fine. We still move enough solid fuel. Yeah. Yeah, there's easier solutions. It it would be worth it if you realized right away you needed like 4 or 5 outposts that were farther. But if it's just one, you have the resources on you, drop them in a chest, that will be faster. But also if you have that many outposts that are far away, the backside is probably too rough anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It might not need all 12. There's a good chance it doesn't. So we have, well, actually, let's do math. Okay, so we have 350 maximum. So we have 8 belts. We have 8 red belts. Let's use that math. We have 8 red belts of fuel going in. So we can use that to figure out how fast it takes to load a train. Scaling it that way is weird. I can't find like a unified unit for that. 11 should be fine. I'm trying to figure out how fast we fill a train right now. Each train, each set of 2 trains moves 1 red belt of resources, right? So that's 12 wagons times 50 ore times 38 internal buffer. So it moves 22,800. And that's 4 red belts, which is 120 items per second. So that means I have 190 seconds on average to fill a train and empty the train. At stack size 2, which is what we want this to be balanced around initially, we have 1.2 times 11 inserters, and they are filling 4,000 into the wagon. 4,000 divided by 1.2 divided by 11 is 300 seconds? No, that's not right. How much fits in a train? No, is it 2,000 40 times 20. Never mind, it's half that. There's only 2,000 in the train. So 2,000 divided by 1.2 divided by 11 gives us 151 seconds. So we still fill it with 30 seconds to spare. So we should be good, yeah. And who knows, maybe it won't die. It will die. It's pretty much guaranteed to die. Yeah, for some reason I did 50 times 100. Or 40 times 100. Thinking they stacked higher. But they only stacked to 50. But yeah, so that's 2,000 slots divided by 11 divided by 1.2. And it actually becomes a 1.6. And then it starts filling in 2 minutes. But when most of our trains go up, 150 seconds. A-okay. Because I think we move the train. We don't move it with logic. We move it with time and logic, but we mostly move it with time. So it only moves every 190 seconds on a cycle, or 185, something like that. So we don't gain anything from faster filling. Okay, so the last thing is I could potentially connect this one to cracking. I think this one's less important because there should be enough fuel from both of these, but maybe that's a during the run thing if we realize there's an issue problem. Because like realistically, this does produce 300 per second, and it is prioritized. This produces 300 per second and it's prioritized. So it should be okay. But I don't know if I want to rely on should be okay. We don't leech that much from this for the outpost train, but we do take a little bit. You hope it won't be trains that break a run. Yeah, same. Same. We'll have to do some stress testing. But yeah, the cracking that we do only reduces our fuel by like 30% for each of these. So I don't, if we crack this one, I think we still have plenty that's going up into here. Why is SA so buggy? What do you mean? How are you, wait, what? SA as in space age? Did they delay it or something? If it's buggy, it's because because you're still in beta. That is fair, but also there's like 3 weeks left, so that's also fair to be worried about that. Oh, I guess we don't need. Okay, so we definitely don't need cracking, but we should do a tank. I think at the very least we should be able to send spare fuel down. So this one actually will. Wait, what? Oh, okay. It goes like this. It's like how did I connect this earlier? Actually, how did I connect this earlier? Wait, what? I thought it reached. Did it not reach? No, it doesn't. Wait, what? I had it connected like that? Why? Oh, because I had to get around this. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so this one's actually the reverse logic of all the others. But, so this one is only sending it if it's backed up on petroleum. But it should back up pretty fast. Oh, come on. Really? um, okay. I guess we can do this, right? It's not the end of the world. We don't need it's not like this is yeah, it's not like this is high fuel belt or anything. There you go. So we won't crack it, but if it does back up, we will send it to turn into plastic to decrease the strain on the others. I think that's a good balance. All right, I think that works. All of these are slightly different. I don't know why this one has heavy oil. Oh, I needed more lube. Okay, so this one's actually really important. Hmm. Do we have the priority set differently on this? We do. Okay. I was like, we must have done something because this is a very important build. We reversed the priority on all of these to prioritize this side. Okay, that's good. There are games that you found more bugs and you're even bad at finding those. Those are after premiere. Dude, games these days are so buggy. I don't know if anyone here has played 7 Days to Die. The best way to describe it is, I mean, it's a survival craft zombie game. But the way I describe the game is they could not make up their mind on what features to add. Like that is over 10 years of development, they just keep circling back and rehashing the same things for like 10 years, just not being happy with how any of the features work. Like the skill tree, how you unlock crafting recipes, quality for like weapons. They've rehashed them pretty much every update or every other update for like the past 10, 15 years. And 7 days to die IRL due to bugs. Yes, the stress is gonna make you die. It all makes sense. Have we connected water? We didn't connect water to any of the cracking. I'm realizing that now. That's the easy thing to do, but yeah, we should probably do that, huh? Anyway, so they just could not make up their mind about what they wanted the game to look like. And then a month ago, or like less than a month ago, they decided, hey, we're a full release now. Which I think is just them saying they've given up. Pretty sure that's just them saying, hey, we're not guaranteeing we're ever gonna finish this. It's full release now. Which sounds a little bit cynical, but it fixed like nothing. It overhauled our armor, and that's like all it did for like the entire 1.0. They pretty much mostly just overhauled the armor system. F it, we don't care anymore. Exactly. That. So yeah, that's basically what the full release of that was. But they have a bug where if you die in the game, you die in real. No, if you die in the game, sometimes it doesn't reset your stats. So like if you're infected or die of bleeding, you'll spawn and you'll be bleeding and dying of an infection again. And because you just spawned, you don't have anything on you to heal. So you just die a second time. And it's such a major bug. They just did not fix it. What game is that? 7 days to die. But with all the bugs, you don't last 7 days. You spawn and you die again immediately. It's not that well. I want to say it's a pretty common bug. I've run into it a lot. Now, why did I do it on that stage? Why do I keep double clicking? But yeah, it's fun. I will say that I have had a very fun experience. I would not describe it as a full game, but I've had a good time with it. My friend and I play it a lot. Oh wait, we're not doing cracking on this one. So yeah, it's a fun experience at least. Just you can tell they just gave up on it for the full release. Factorio 1.0 release wasn't that spectacular, most because point 18 was so good. I just until I started streaming, I didn't realize how little changed between point 18 and 1.0. Most of the changes that I think of full release changes were 1.1 changes or point 18 changes. But like I can't think of nothing unique stands out to me for 1.0. Cuz Smart Belt was 1.1, right? Point 8 was 8. Wait, okay, so Spidertron was 1.0. See, I always think of that one as 1.1. So maybe in my mind I've just swapped the 1.1 and 1.0 updates. That seems reasonable. Okay. So we did a bunch of connections. It's going to be a little bit more annoying to trim down the station, but it's not that difficult. Uh, so those will go through here, just along the side. But yeah, I should probably put that in now, huh? Well, actually, it depends how much they need. This needs 1 pipe of water, 2 of crude. So this one would need slightly more than 1 pipe of water. So this one needs 2 pipes of water, 2 pipes of crude. This one needs 1 pipe and 2 pipe. Okay. Yeah, we can do that now. Your update for Factorio was from alien artifacts and crafting curved rail curves and blueprints to 1.1. Oh, that's a massive change if that was the last time. If that's where you see like it's a big like jump. I remember the purple science. I did like how fast it was to get the high tier sciences because of that, but it was a lot less interesting. And it meant you had to at least play on peaceful mode if you wanted to get every tech. You couldn't turn off fighters completely. Also, this is what we have to figure out next time, tomorrow. I don't know exactly how. Oh, you just okay. I was thinking that was just like in your mind, but yeah, not playing for a long time would also do that. I didn't play this game for like I think like 3 years, but I don't think it's been longer than like I didn't play it between my last couple years of college and when I started streaming. Actually, when was the full release? I might be completely wrong on my timeline. Never mind. That timeline's completely wrong. um, yeah, I've just pretty consistently at least played every 2 years then. For some reason, I thought 1.0 was a lot older, like pre-COVID. Okay, so water connections. Well, we have this fuel. Wait, is that where most of the fuel goes? Hold up. So this is 1,700. This is okay. So we'll do one connection here, one oil connection here and here, and then the rest will continue past it. Yeah, that is the 100% power plant or an older version of it. It's not as cursed as it could be. It doesn't have like the Kim plant 90-degree turns, but I wanted an idea of what their power looks like. I think it's going to be really hard to adapt this. We might have to make our own power plant because this is just so specific to this kind of setup that I'm not sure how viably we can actually use it, like any of it. We do need to make a much larger steam portion of our base, though, as someone pointed out yesterday, because we don't have turbines for a while, or substations, or medium electric poles, so we need at least this much worth of normal steam engines, possibly this much, before we switch to turbines. Which is fine, it's just something we need to add. They could probably still use the direct fueling, though. That seems to be pretty great. See, that's the thing. The main usable part's the water pumps, but, like, this stuff is so hard to read that I don't know where I can split off of it to use. So, unless you mean the actual, like, the offshore pumps themselves, I might be able to figure out how those work. But yeah, I can barely understand that at all. So that's going to be fun. That'll take, like, all of tomorrow. But yeah, connections. Well, let's see. These are connected by hand, so I don't want to make it too messy. Oh, but these aren't connected by hand. These ones aren't connected by hand. So this can continue upwards. Needs to be stage 3.1. That's pretty late. Well, okay. So I say connected by hand, connected by bots, but it has a flexible connection. Because most of the stuff that's connected by bots is connected way farther back. So that's really what I mean by that. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Yeah, fun. That's the word I would use too. Well, I'm sure we'll figure something out. Because the thing is, we don't need that much water, right? We need a lot for what we're doing. It's a stupidly high amount of water. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, I see. I see what happened. Never mind, that's not a big deal. But yeah, for what we're doing, it's a stupidly high amount of water. But compared to the 100% base, the normal one, we are using at least like 30% less water. I think around 30% less water. So I feel like that difference is pretty massive in terms of how good your water distribution system has to be. Like 70 pumps versus 120 from the same lake. Very big difference. Or I guess it's more like 50% then. Because I think they have like 120 now, right? Or maybe it's only 100. Okay, so that water connection's straightforward enough. Oil will be a, more annoying. It gobbles up water. You say that, but it uses half the water that mine does um, per watt. It gobbles up water, but it's more just the fact that they have electric furnaces that causes their power requirement to be so much higher, and like, speed modules and stuff. But per watt produced, my power plant is like half as good, which is why my power consumption is only like 30% smaller than theirs, despite having 1/5 of the power. But yeah, that's where most of their water goes, and that's where most of mine goes too. Although we have, let's see, I think about 60. Darn, I was hoping I could reach. I think we have about 60 watts going into, or 60,000 to 70,000 going into power. Then the rest goes into cracking, because we also just have an absurd amount of cracking for what we're doing. Or for a 100% base. Okay, so that water connection, very straightforward. So that gives us this plant, and it gives us this plant, and then the rest of these can all be on one pipe, I think. 700. It's pushing it for the oil, but it should be all right. It should be totally fine. I think we can assume we can get at least 1,000. 1,000 out of 1080 is all right. Last two stages of their power at 0 offshore pumps and like 20 reactors. Are they relying on a buffer for that? How does that work? Or does it just mean it's already built by then? Okay, it's going to be a little bit annoying to get water out here, but I don't think it's awful. We should probably do something like combinator. Actually, I'm going to keep these at exactly 50. Oh, okay. It's because it deprioritizes the others. Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, so they're deprioritizing their old steam plants and turning it all into nuclear and getting a lot more power. I see. Okay, so something like this, pretty straightforward, easy to understand what's happening. And then we can put infinity pipes here for testing, because those will be deleted. And then water. Okay. That should be good. That saved a lot of lakes already. Yeah, I can see that. Like, that, because like looking at this, a lot of water does go into this. And this is only like 1 megawatt or something, right? Maybe 2? I think it's 1. It's around 1 megawatt. This, on the other hand, so many megawatts. If that's the case, then we might need all their offshore pumps. It's offset. Fortunately, it's offset by the fact that we just use a lot less power. So like it is worse, but it's not. It's not so much worse that we need more water, or like the same amount of water. We just need a little bit less. I feel like we should use a. I really feel like we should need a lot less, but no, we just need a little bit less. I think this should go farther out, actually. Because this will come from the lake. And then this will also come from the lake. So this continues on. Okay, this is the annoying part. Do I want to go through or around? Probably around, right? I think around seems easier over here. The other side is going to be a lot more annoying to connect. This is the wrong... This is the wrong stage. All of these are the wrong stage. This is where we got off. So it was the correct stage until we added this stuff. Okay, so we're not too far off. Okay. But if we are supposedly 30% water, but they divert from sturdium to nuclear, we might use less water. We might not use less water. So those calculations are based on how much water they actually consume. It's not just like a guess based on the ratio of nuclear power. It's based on how much power I need and how much I know they consume. Like it's not that there's not much guesswork in that. It's math. So we're good. Ooh, that needs to go around that. Hmm. We can cross it over there, I guess. Does that work? This is a lot farther over than I would like, but I don't think it's going to interfere with anything. This part's annoying. That makes that connection real awful. Let's actually try to work around it. I don't want to have undergrounds here. Especially since this is a much later stage. I mean, I'll probably have bots build this earlier because I have to cross resources through it. Yeah. This needs to be built a lot earlier than I need it because of that. That's okay. Not the end of the world. It's like 40 pipe, maybe. This stuff doesn't manually get crossed, so this can wait until it's actually necessary. Perfect. Oh, come on. Okay. I feel like maybe we'll need, No, we should be fine. I was gonna say maybe we need a separate, like a pump or something, but I really don't think that's necessary. This is gonna be a lot harder on the other side because the other side has oil cracking that runs very close to all of this stuff, and I think that might cause issues. Okay, and then 4.3, okay. That's not gonna work. I don't even know what that train is. Oh, I think that's so we can get our building train out. Never mind, that's important. Okay, then we delete this because we no longer need it. These should be connected, right? Oh, they're not. Wait, what? We don't connect those through on any of them? Whoops. Is that because we accidentally deleted it, or did we just forget it on all of them? Well, now we have to check the staging again. Okay. Not a terrible problem. Like, we already have the pipe, so it's really not too bad. Just a little bit of an oversight on my part. Let's see. The exact pair of curves near the ore inputs can just be handcrafted to get around the incoming ore. These? Um, it depends how I want to connect from the lake. If I wanted to connect all the way from here to here, I could do that. But this, as long as we have the gaps here, it's easy enough. So now there's no problem. It would be a different story if this stage wasn't so late. But because this stuff isn't needed until like the very end of the run, or like 2 hours after I'll be doing my water connections, I want it set up. I want to be able to do both of my water connections right away and then forget about it. So I don't want this point onward to have to worry about like hand weaving connections, except for like close patches. But yeah, if things break, we can fix it. So we can keep that in mind for sure. Okay, I don't think we use any water up here. I think we use light oil, but I'm pretty sure there's no water. Okay, so how long is this pipe? So we just added, it's about 100 segments plus another like 50 to the lake probably. Factorio fluid mechanics fluid system. How much can a pipe reasonably transfer? 1,000. Okay, so we're looking at, we can go up to like 200 tiles and be around 1,000. So that should be able to supply this, right? 760. Yeah. Okay. Oil. Oil is a little bit different because oil should have like a close connection somewhere over here. So I think for oil, what I should do is connect all of these to each other and then have 3 spots I can connect oil and not have to worry about belt weaving. And it can just do whichever one seems easier. Because oil probably won't be in a good spot where I can connect all of them right away. So this one we connected, right, through the base, and oil connects here. Okay, that's reasonable to me. Realizing that is a terrible way to do that now. um, this should connect here. There we go. That makes way more sense. Actually, it should go on the other side because that's an unfortunate rail. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure that out. That means it doesn't cross that. Okay, that's good. Okay, so water comes from one side, so that one has to be connected in a weird way. Weird-ish way. Weirder way, I guess. It's not that weird. And that oil goes to this, and then these are on their own oil. Okay. I feel like I should connect them just next to the water, right? Yeah. 18 gives you 1,200. I'm just accepting that this is going to be like 95% fully running. But that's pretty close. I think it's like slightly off. It's a weird number, it looks like. 17 for 1,200. 17 sections, which you can't really do. So 18's probably pretty close. Or it'd have to be pretty close. Can I go through here? Yes, actually, that works really well. Do I want to have to do this connection? No, but I will do this connection. And then I don't stress about it. That's a small price to pay. Okay, and then this one goes down. And actually, wait, this one's the bottom one, isn't it? Never mind, that's the bottom one. Okay, I just didn't want... I didn't want the hand building to be like one click away from mixing the pipes forever. Your math is probably 18, 16, 7, 18. Yeah, that would be the safer option, wouldn't it? This one doesn't actually go up again. Okay, so that gives me three spots I can connect oil, all of which will supply it perfectly well. The plan is for sometime the expansion comes out 21st, right? So the goal is somewhere between October 13th and October 20th. I don't have an exact date yet, but my goal is hopefully 13th or 14th, which would be the Sunday or Monday before the expansion. But we'll see. I can't necessarily keep to a schedule because of life stuff happening right now, so we'll see. But I think nothing's happening until November or late October. So I imagine we'll actually be able to meet our goal. It's going to be like a 12-hour stream, so like no matter what time zone anyone is in, they should be able to they should be able to see part of it. Because I'm gonna have to start at like 9 a.m. But yeah, I'm excited. And the base looks like it's close enough to being done that is actually a reasonable goal. The only thing that would really stop it is if I just can't do a 12-hour stream on that day. Rather than thinking my base won't be done. Okay, so that's the left half. I like there's just the underground pipes going all the way through. Okay, so this one, if we could group these three together, that would be great. Ah, darn, we can't. Well, maybe we can. But yeah, have a good night, Willwood. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, this is exactly the right amount of oil. Never mind, this is too perfect to pass up. Okay, water count, though. Oh, am I gonna be... Oh, am I gonna do something awful and make these connections different? So, basically, this uses exactly one pipe of oil. But this also uses some water. But if there's a chance I could divide it and do like one water like staggered, I doubt it will work that well. I don't. I think. I think the numbers are too close to 1,000 for that to actually work. Let's see. This uses 800 and... Oh, this one's annoying. Okay, so between all of these, I need 2 pipes. Huh. How do I do that? It's like, it's a very weird... It's a very weird ratio, so I can't figure out how to split it, because it's like set 800 here and 1,200 here. So this is too much for one pipe, so I either need to... I might need a tank to send surplus up, or I need to use like a one-way... I could maybe use a one-way pump. Could work. Because if I have a water connection that's up here and it's using a one-way pump, that could work. Yeah, like if I have a one-way pump here that we connect the water to, would that work? Probably. So, yeah, no. I need to use 2 pipes either way. I'm trying to figure out how I can use 2 pipes without using 3 pipes. That's the problem. I could use pumps. I could use pumps and go for a pump every 4 undergrounds would work. But basically the issue is that I need 800 here and I need 1,200 here. So there's not a great way to... I can't think of a great way to do 2 pipes without having it like mix in the middle and maybe have distribution issues. So that's what we need to fix. How to figure out how to send 400 from this pipe up. I think a one-way valve might work though, right? Like if we just have this here and then this here and this is where the second connection is, would that work? I think that could work. So water will be prioritized by these, then it'll be combined into one here, and then this one will have the remaining 1,200, and this is close enough that it will consume most of it. Before it has pressure issues? I don't know. I don't understand how pressure works in this game very well. Honestly, combining there might work, because this is pretty close. We could also, if we go into a tank, I think that that is a workaround as well. So if we just do this, and we have one output and another output, something like that. We probably don't need 4 pumps for this. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun if this is what I'm struggling with. Although, Knowing that I'll need exactly like 12,000 or 6,000 per pipe is a lot better than at like even intervals makes it a lot better. This just isn't even. For this, we don't have to have it be perfect, so we can just make an even pattern and copy it. Well, what I do know is that this water... Wait, where the heck does this get water? Okay, what I do know is that this water can supply water here. That much I know. So to do that, let's do stage. What the heck is this? And why is it... why is it not connected? Okay. So water's here. We can have it go to the right and connect through... bottom, I think, is better. Yeah, that's all right. Just make all water connections at one spot. Oh, and just have it like distribute itself. Is that the idea? So I bring all the water up here, and then it will naturally split two ways. Is that the vibe? It would waste a little bit of pipe, but it's not awful. That go to base and drag once. Oh, yeah, that part I'm not too worried about. That's not the distribution that I'm trying to fix. Those will all be connected at once. Yeah. So all of the water sources will come from here. I get you. Yeah, all the water sources will connect there. This is the only three we need. On that side, this one has two on this side, a little bit higher. I could have all of them be here. Actually, maybe I should move these over. That's a little bit weird, but yeah, I think I need to make them go from there to there. One spot makes it easier to connect to. Only need to bring water from lake at one spot. Don't need to worry about dragging left or right since that's part of the base. Yeah, that's true. As long as I leave enough of a gap here, we're okay. One of them also needs to be hand-built here, so maybe it's not too bad. So, like, this first one needs to be hand-built. To go here. It looks like. Why am I building on this layer? I don't know. So yeah, we'll figure out a spot that makes sense there, I guess. We need a regular pipe. We can connect the infinity pipe back just for testing purposes. Those are going to be deleted pretty quickly with one deconstruction planer, so I'm fine just leaving them wherever. I think there's still enough water, right? So that uses 200. No, wait. With sulfur, these use up to 400. Throw these into the mix. We're like, yeah, okay. So that's still less than a lake. It's pretty close. It's pushing it, but since this doesn't run full speed, the number is inaccurate, so that should be less than 1,000. I don't know what these are, but it looks like we can move them down. These are optional, actually. We don't need to worry too much about them. I say optional. They don't... I don't think there's any world where we use them anymore. We can probably delete them. Delete stone going from right left. Yeah, I don't think we need those. I am scared to delete them right now, but I imagine we will delete them. Oh, this is annoying. See, how can I pass over this? Let's make it a little bit farther, because I might shift this either way. So now we can make this a full drag. There we go. And then smart belt, smart pipe takes over. Okay. So all the water connections can be done here. Wow, the fact that we need 5 water connections for powering our base just feels like a lot to me. And then maybe I do something like that. That should be easy enough to connect by hand, and then the rest of them maybe here? Maybe here, actually. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's the part I'm concerned about. We might have to do this part by hand. Because this is where our starter patch is. So this part is going to be full of spaghetti. Oh, they use 8 total for the base? Really? I guess they do a better job of feeding them through the base. Or not. They need 7 and no one knows where they end up. How how cursed would it be if I passed them through here? How many people would stop watching me if I did that? I'm trying to think if I can pass them through the base in a really cursed way, I'd never have to make this connection. um, okay, but the closer I stick to the edge, the easier it is to avoid them. So I think if I just build them here, the world's fine. Everything's okay. I think we're going to have one weird connection that we do by hand from here to here. But I'm not sure. See, right 8. All 2 of us would stop watching. Hmm. Okay, this doesn't need to be... This is done by bots. This is not... This one's not done by bots. So that one needs to be clean. These ones just need... These ones just need to be nearby. We have a compressor here that will be 4 wide, so that means... I think I can weave through here. And I'll be fine. This doesn't remove that much of the spaghetti potential. Oh, no. Okay, I need to shift it over 1, but I think the idea is sound. That gives me enough space for me to not have to worry about spaghetti. Oh, gosh. There will be some pipe spaghetti, but that's not important. That's not important. Let's ignore that. Okay, that can go... No! That's fine, because we can just manually change it. It's just unfortunate. Oh, and one of them actually should divert itself now. Actually, both of them should divert themselves now. So maybe here? That does pass by this, and it has enough space there. Okay. I think that works. So we need to shift this down 1, shift this down 1. Pipe, pipe. Underbelt. These connections are done by bots. That one's not, but we have the clearance there. Okay, I think that's reasonable. I think reasonable is a strong word here, but, you know, it kind of works. Okay, so then I just need my connections here. I might need to shift this one down. Because no, those had a weird corner connection. Bad spot for straight train track. Did I break something? Oh, this one? So I built that out of habit because I didn't know how long my base would be. But then I realized there's no chance a train is ever going that way, so I'd never bothered to fix it. Unless you mean this thing. Which train track? The other one? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about this one, which is more of a vestigial structure than anything. I should probably just delete it, actually. It's mostly just there to make it that the blueprint was the same. But I don't need that one anymore. Okay, so that one breaks. Which means we probably have to go over, right? That it doesn't quite work. Okay, we have to bend it. We have to bend it here. Staging day is going to be fun. Okay, that clears it, right? Yeah. Yeah, right? I think I didn't break that. Kind of want to shift it up. Oh, this just feels a little bit cleaner to me. That works. Yes, it does. That's what matters. It was either that or I did like bloop bloop bloop, which also didn't seem great. I think either way we were looking at a few pipe though. Alrighty, that is it's good for me. We don't really have water connected to all of them, but that's all right. Was I supposed to? Oh, these don't. Neither of those exist anymore, right? Okay, so these are our 5 water connections for our base. Oh, they probably use a lot more for batteries, right? Is that what all of theirs is for? I don't think as much of it goes into cracking. I guess since their base is larger, they might have a similar amount of cracking. We do consume most of our we consume less petroleum in plastic use, but we definitely consume more solid fuel. Maybe that's the difference. For all of these that we have as smelters, they or solid fuel plants, they have a lot more cracking than we do. Because our cracking is really only in a couple spots for plastic. Okay, so that gets the water across. Oil is going to connect on that side because why would I do it any other way? Oil is literally everywhere. I don't know how to do this though. Okay, so water's coming from the bottom. That much I understand. We'll move these. I don't know, what stage do I think I would need it? 3.2? Oh, that's pretty late. Okay. I could set a blueprint, or we can just keep coughing it like this and making it longer and longer. The blueprint would have been faster at this point. I forgot how wide 100% bases are. But that's okay. It technically worked, right? No flaws here. Okay. And then we want to avoid this track. So I might make these more central. I'll probably curve them here. Never mind. Never mind. Also, the power plant won't be here. That changes things a bit. Okay, yeah, never mind. We can get through. Okay, so we need to connect this water. And then I think if we just connect them with a one-way valve, I think everything works. So we send this water up early. And then the last time we passed water through, we actually passed it through here, which worked really well. Okay. And then the other one will just pass by it. So that one would go... Unfortunately, that doesn't work, but we can do this. Make the connection a little bit better. Okay. Probably should not have gone through there, but that's okay. We can always change it. Maybe I'll just continue this one all the way through and then worry about it later. Okay, this is where undergrounds will be passing through, so we'll have to do a little bit of extra belt weaving there, but that's not not sorry, belt weaving is not the right word. We'll have some extra undergrounds there. Huh. This doesn't work. We did in fact not connect any of these correctly. I thought at least one half would be correct. Don't know what's different. I don't know how we made that mistake, but obviously we messed up. Okay. Now we can keep wait, was that all of them? I feel like I counted to 5, but let's see. 1, 2. I guess we'll see them as we connect the water, so we'll have something to point it out. Okay. 3.2. This goes up, 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 and What? How are we able to make it through earlier? Were we not able to make it through? Wait, how did we do this one? I'm so confused. Uh, oh, that one's not the right one. Oh, never mind. Water came from the left. Oil is the one that fed through like that. Ah, okay. I should probably redesign it then. Let's see. See, some of the normal bases 8 pipes might be for the small. Oh, they do have some power, don't they? Yeah, we don't have a power plant within our base or anything like that. Okay, so this connection point does not work, unfortunately. So we need to delete all of these. Cool. I really thought that went through. I didn't realize it was the oil connection that did this kind of dance. Oh well. We apparently didn't go that far. We only got up to one before we realized there was an issue. So that's good. We have some ability to spot mistakes, which makes sense because we spot a lot of. We have to spot a lot of them. Hello, Guava enthusiast. Welcome, welcome. Oh, come on. How did I do? Oh, wait. Did I do it here? There is no pattern, by the way. Wait, what the heck am I doing? I'm trying to like keep a pattern, but that's just wasteful right now. Oh, that is very annoying. Oh, come on. We can go through here. There we go. Awesome. So that is two of them. So that is about four. That's 800 water. And then we go up to here. And then this is where it gets a little bit weird. So this is where I'm worried about water pressure, and I'm not entirely sure how to do the connection. So one option we might be able to do like a pump. Or maybe if we connect water at two different spots, everything works out. So if this one connects here, right? And then we have another one connecting here, I think that balances it out. We could do a one-way valve if we really wanted to. But I think this is fine. We can always add a one-way valve very easily in the run if we notice things are running out. But as long as you do two connections that are fairly close to the center of the base, I think they tend to balance pretty well. Like, there's a lot of flaws in the fluid system, don't get me wrong, but I think it does tend to self-balance itself pretty well if fluids can go both ways, but not perfectly at all, but, it's all right. Okay, so that is the second connection. Awesome. Okay, so water's good. Now we need oil, which... Oil we connect... We already have this one? No, we don't have this one yet. So this connection would be really early stage. Probably somewhere on this side. We need to make this an earlier stage then. So we know we can't place there. Actually, what if we do... If we do this, it makes it pretty obvious that, hey, I have to attach crude from this side, right? Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And I guess as long as this is in the blueprint, we can smart build over that. So yeah, never mind. Those are fine. Okay, so that's one oil. That gives the oil for... Honestly, this pipe's kind of silly, isn't it? Actually, wait, how does this get oil? Does this not connect to the original one? I don't think that connects to the original one. Whoops. That's okay. Very easy fix. This is the wrong stage, though. There we go. Okay, so that is crude going in. This doesn't have crude input, right? I mean, I guess if I connected it twice, it's not the end of the world. but I'm pretty sure this never got a crude input. It's just been using spawned oil. Yeah, it's just been using that. So we just moved it. It's now down here. Cool. So that is 1,000 oil and like 800 water or something, 600 water. And that uses its own water source because this also shares it with the base. That's it. Okay. That is correct. So that means these two and that one are kind of shared. That's going to be a little bit wonky, I think. Not awful. Should a possible connection be ran the other way for left soil oil being closer? And I missed an underground pipe and restaging. Okay. That is a good question. When I look at maps, I will say it's really oil looks equally close in every direction, so I don't know how much benefit that would really have. But it could be closer. Could be a little closer, so we might as well. I don't think it really has any downsides, other than we just have to remember not to connect it twice if we don't need it. Okay, we still need to continue that one up, but I just realized I forgot a connection point here. Okay, so I think for this one, it's a little bit more annoying because we need to connect oil at specifically these spot, or actually no, we can connect it here. I think I know how to make this work. We do this. So this tells me I need to connect two here, and then I can connect one down here, one up here, and none here. But I'm just marking the options. I'll need to have notes telling myself I only need two connections though. Notes for specifically oil. Okay, which stage did I miss for the underground? I'm assuming you're talking about the first stage, right? This one? Wait, what the heck? Where does this get water? Did I just not continue dragging it? Yeah, I just stopped. Whoops. I don't think that's the one you were referring to, but that one was definitely missing something. Okay, now we can stage this. Okay, and this is just infinite water, right? Yeah. Okay. That's all right. We could probably shift this whole thing down, but I don't want to redo the connections. Stage 2.2 underground is missing on the crude oil connection point. Yes. Thank you. Honestly, I'll just make the whole thing. I got an underground. Maybe I thought this one was that one. Yes, good catch. Okay. So yeah, oil has a lot of spots it can connect, so it should be all right. These are connected in one giant connection, which, I don't know, maybe not the best idea, but I think it'll balance itself out. I love this one. This is one of, I love the trailer song. I wish it was featured more. Yeah, there's no pattern there. What the heck is that? Oh, rocket fuel. I forgot rocket fuel exists. I'm just like making these connections, and just all of a sudden, just some random pipe that just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's rocket. Sorry, not rocket fuel. Flamethrower fuel. Wait, why was this one next to? Ah, right, because flame fuel, the thing we were just talking about. Oh, hold on, someone's asking about dinner. Okay. Where's the water? Okay, this is the one that we hadn't fully finished. So this continues through under stage 4.2. Oh wait, no, this does continue through. It continues through advanced oil. Yeah, okay. Huh. That works, right? Or sorry, it continues through the oil cracking, not advanced oil. And then that weaves through. Then this is up to here, so then we just do one more connection. I think we're good on water. Honestly, I should just keep that as a regular pipe in all of them, but it's slightly cheaper. It's not going to change pressure that much. Oh, well. Okay, so that should work. The idea there is that water connects at two separate points, and that separate point is smack dab in the middle of everything, so it should self-balance and deliver about 1,000 for each. If it doesn't, we can add a one-way valve pretty easily during the run. But worst case scenario, we just have a little bit less solid fuel production. Nothing would really break. We just might have a slightly slower start to things, so I'm not too concerned. We definitely, I think we could have made them more compact, but I'm not entirely sure how to do fuel. And then we were talking about this the other day. Splitters are kind of pricey, but more importantly, they're slow. It's slow to build compressors, especially that earlier. I think we'll be fine on the cost of the compressors, but having them everywhere, it's very slow to build. We have a couple options. So one option is you don't have to use a splitter to send stuff to the left. What we can do is we can use a burner inserter like that. So that makes it that you can evenly fill different lanes, and then you just compress it after every 5 or 6. So the advantage of doing it that way is that you have a more balanced start, but a slower start initially. But that only applies to like the first few. The farther up the line you go, the more you'll have backed up at any given point. But the idea behind it is it's easier to build initially. If pressure is too low, could just find some spots to slip in a pump to boost pressure. Yeah, that's another option. Although, to realistically boost pressure as much as we need here, we need to add a lot of... we would need to add pumps in like a lot of different spots. I think a one-way valve would be better, just because I only need to add 2 pumps instead of like 20. Because the problem with pumps is they only work if you have them every, in this case, 16 tiles. Otherwise it does nothing. Oh, I guess if you did corners, you could do every 17 tiles, and then corners, so 16 would give you 1,200 for straights, and then you'd still have 1,200 around corners. Ooh. I would say maybe they chose that number intentionally, but I don't think they intentionally chose any of the pipe numbers. other than the capacity of the pipe and moving all of it per tick. But anything else, I imagine, has to be coincidence. Well, pressure's not going to be a problem for 800. So I'm not too worried about that. If you want to move like 800 per second, it can be like a 200 long pipe or something. Which I think this is only 100 and like 50. It's definitely pushing it, but I think it's enough. Yeah, it's close. It's definitely close. But the difference between 1,200 and 1,000 or even like 800 is like 200 to like 300 pipe difference. It drops off real fast after 17 pipes, and then it plateaus. Not drops off real fast, it plateaus real fast. Anti has oil connection in the MIDI of base and just spaghetti prints to multiple spots. This sounds like me. Yeah, if there are problems. Honestly, if there's problems, we can just manually connect more water as well. Just like a spaghetti pipe going into the middle would probably fix everything. But I do like the idea of just spaghetti oil through the base. I approve of his whatever mess he's making. Where did we leave off? So water's good, oil's good. We have like 5 points we can connect oil. Did we actually finish that? Yes, we did. Okay. There was something I was missing. There's one more thing I needed to finish here, but I don't remember what it was. Hmm. Was there something broken that I forgot about? Oh, right. Compressor. Okay, so we need a full belt. And we don't really need a full belt here. No, that never mind. We do need a full belt. So this would need an actual splitter. This one needs an actual splitter. This one, hmm. So this is. Oh wow, our cold grid goes up for a really long time. Okay, so this is 27. About 27 different input inserters. 27 to 30. So on average, this would be 72. They're not going to run full speed, but let's assume 72. That's 2 megawatts. If for some bizarre reason these are running full speed, this right here with vanilla settings can do about 1 point. It can do about 2.4, and that's with no stack size upgrades. So that is an option. We could have these powered by one inserter. It's a lot easier to build initially, like way easier to build initially. Now the startup time for the first few builds is really slow, but I think the startup time for the ones farther up the lane aren't that slow. All the half belts could easily be an inserter. Not sure if there's enough throughput with burners. Yeah, it's that's basically what it is. They could all be inserters, I think, but the startup time, the average throughput is more than enough. These don't consume a ton, but the faster we can compress stuff, the faster the startup time is. If things start in like an uneven way, if all of these start at once, the difference is negligible. But if, for example, I build this part of my base and not this part of my base at once, this would start a lot faster if I could compress the splitters, because this can start at full speed while this is idling. Whereas if I have all of them be inserters, none of them can start at full speed ever, but they can probably start fast enough. I'm trying to think if it would save me more time. I mean, I do like the idea of not having to have splitters here. The issue is I can't upgrade this one. I can upgrade... Actually, I can shift the coal belt down. I can shift the coal belt down. Everything can be shifted down one tile. What it boils down to is that I can't expand this, but I can expand this. So if I had one extra tile, bam, double starting throughput, and that can be done in a future blueprint. And that offsets a lot of the not performance loss, but start delay. I don't know if I would need more compressors to do that though. Hmm. This one needs a splitter. This one needs a splitter. Inserter, 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 inserter. The other issue is I don't know which ones. I don't know which ones need full lanes. Like obviously this one needs a lot more because it's grenades. Burners are cheaper, saving all of the splitters and green chips and build time. It's cheaper in the sense that like its upfront cost is a little bit cheaper, but the thing is starting delay. Like if your build starts 1 minute later, that's like 1,000 resources wasted from that alone, which is way more than the loss the amount you save from like the one splitter. Because like we're talking startup times that are multiple minutes slower probably for everything, or could be multiple minutes slower, which is the concern. So like I lose those time savings pretty much immediately if it does in fact start slower. So the splitters aren't fully set up. The splitters will be built with compressors, so the startup time can potentially be 30 times faster. Um, so it's up to like 30 times faster to use a splitter. It depends which lanes are starting. Because like it's what I was saying. Like with an inserter, if I build all of this at once, all of it starts slowly. If I build it with splitters or if I build it with inserters and I just build this, still starts just as slowly as this entire thing would. If I build it with splitters, on the other hand, this start at the same time. Splitter version, inserter version. But this will start like 8 times faster than this. So it really depends how much I expect to be building vertically at any given point. Your concern is that they're pried across the smelters, so the inserters at the end are starved until the coal backs up enough. Um, that's not a problem. There's way more lanes than this than I have. This is 4 lanes long. This is 4 wide. There's no point in building it until we had most of our base done. But yeah, I see why you would think it was a lot slower. There's twice the coal. At least twice the coal. It might be 5 lanes. How much of the base are we building manually? This section plus this section, and then 2 lanes of drills on this side, and then all of these drills. So all of this will be purely built. Well, okay. All of this will be purely built by hand. The rest of it built by bots. And then I think actually this stuff doesn't need to be fully built by hand. This stuff's just connected by hand. Never mind. So yeah, just this portion and this portion. I guess I could just say this portion. That doesn't cover too much extra. Let's see, 4 wide may not be enough fuel for the burners at the end of the smelter line unless coal gets linked first, I guess. So comparatively, not that much. Yeah, comparatively, we're only building like 10% of our base by hand. But it's going to be like half the time. May not be enough to fuel the burners at the end of the smelter line. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by that. What are the inserters at the end of the smelting line? Also, how long does this go up? Okay, solid fuel gets added here. No, solid fuel. Where does solid fuel? Solid fuel gets added here. So we need 340 times 90 plus 72 times 9. 340 times 90 plus 340 times 72. Making sure my inserters and we have enough fuel. 55,000. Okay, so that's only one belt of fuel, right? 55,000 divided by 15. Divided by 4,000? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so technically one belt of fuel is enough for these, but barely. Yeah, barely. Start delay would be insanely high if I only have one. That's why I have the second. So the way this works, This is built initially. This is the only solid fuel we have until steel. Or this is the only coal that's hooked up until steel. So we'll have 2 to 3 of these. 2 to 3 of these will be hooked up from the start. Maybe all 4. Let's see. You're thinking too much about it. The end outserters for plates will just brown out until enough coal gets there, so the smelter will just buffer. Oh, is that your concern? I mean that's going to happen regardless of if we do splitters or if we do inserters. So it's something that just happens. But yeah, these will die initially and then they'll get back up. It's not a problem. There's a reason that so much of our base is designed around not having self-feeding because it doesn't work. It doesn't work at the scale and speed we need. So that's why most inserters. I mean, these wouldn't be self-feeding anyway, but that's why most of our inserters have dedicated fuel inserters. And then these ones are safe just because of the internal buffer. But yeah, I'm really thinking I might shift this down a tile. Does that break anything? It's going to be really annoying math. Uh-huh. So, is it worth it? But yeah, I'm excited to do the actual run. We're gonna do it at least. I plan to do it a second time as well. Let's see, inserters will technically start feeding the belt faster. Yeah, that's like the balance you have to strike. Splitters can feed. Inserters can feed more lanes evenly, but this isn't the first time I've done. So this isn't the first time I've done burner stuff, right? I've done burner stuff before. We did a blind run of this before. I've done like burner any percent. From experience, splitters worked just fine, and for large builds, the inserter was not enough in a lot of circumstances. But I think I was only using one. It's like I'm just speaking from experience there. I know that it feeds a lot slower with a inserter than it does without an inserter on average. But 2 inserters kind of levels that out a lot. But yeah, that's why there's so much debate over this right now. Cuz like I know they work, but they work a little bit slower than I'd like. I could have bots just build the second one. That could be one of the first things bots do. Cuz it's not until I get bots that one of them starts to suffer. Honestly, I have the ability to have 3. But yeah, to put it another way, I'm thinking about the bot phase, right? I'm not concerned with the startup time during the hand build phase. I'm concerned with bots whenever they build something like this and the only build that's up right now is this splitter and I could have that start buffering, but it's only buffering 1 fuel per second. And it has to get like 1,000 or something. Because we know bots. Bots sometimes do a lot of stuff like this. So I think there's a lot of situations with bots where you would rather have the ability to move 15 coal this way while bots are building this junk instead of having it all built slowly, but I'm not sure. But also this looks incredibly annoying to build, which is a consideration. Okay. I know there are some that will take a lot more coal. Ooh, actually, that complicates it a lot, doesn't it? If I go with the inserter setup, I have to be very careful to make sure none of this coal is used for feeding furnaces or grenades without it being on the splitter line. Because realistically, there's got to be it's got to alternate splitters and inserters. So I think all of these could be inserters. A lot of these need to be splitters. A lot of these need to be splitters. Because I remember what happens after this. A lot of this stuff goes into the train from some of these belts. The cold grid stops here though, which is nice. This I know I can definitely use inserters for. This needs a... Ooh, actually, wait. This needs a side balancer halfway through. I should definitely have bots build that. Where was it? I know. I can't supply my base. We're definitely overestimating it when our science just doesn't run. Where was that weird side load that I was using to supply a single furnace? This one. Okay, so all we need to do here is just force a side balance somewhere along here that doesn't have inserters. Actually, we don't even need to force a side balance. We just need to force it to be on the right. Because most likely it will be on the right, but we need to be certain. So we'll just do this. And this will make it that some coal can always make it to the right. Wait. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, we need to make sure that some coal is always on the right for this side load. Or sorry, always on the left. Where is it? This is after the hand building phase, right? I think so. Okay, now it's always on the left. Yeah, that works fine. I don't think anything there is unsafe. It's a little bit not great. I don't like grabbing after curves, but it's better than grabbing after a splitter. Sometimes grabbing after a splitter is unsafe, but that's usually if it also has to like go into a furnace. We could just guess. That's a viable option, right? None of this is built by hand, so this can be however I want it to look. This one is definitely an example of its start time is not going to be that high. I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's like this uses the coal grid, but it doesn't. It uses the coal grid for like the left 80% of it. Oh, it hasn't been hooked up yet. Coal grid or solid fuel to right half. Half near electric engines. Also, this part is going to be awful, by the way. I'm not looking forward to doing this connection by hand. That is going to be miserable to hand build. Do I have anything here that will break if I shift it down one tile? I don't think so. No, the world doesn't end if we shift it down. This might break. Hold on. There is a workaround. Yeah. We'll just have to make sure we don't have a compressor here. So this can't go down one tile. But the rest of them I think can. So yeah, do we just need to like track down every lane? Make sure it doesn't take coal in a really weird way. Okay, how can I mark these? What if should I count them? Oh, this isn't right. There we go. So none of these take coal in a weird way. I guess I should count them, right? Or maybe mark them at the bottom. So this one's a splitter. These can be inserters. All the way over, I think, can be inserters. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable way to mark it. Okay, so all those can be splitters. Let's see, does this go into plastic? This goes into plastic. So all of these have to be splitters, which makes sense. And that is true all the way through here to grenades. And then it looks like we can possibly switch back. Nope, never mind, that's also plastic. Oh, that's why it's weirdly sideloaded. Is that why it's weirdly sideloaded? That might be why it's weirdly sideloaded. This is plastic. This is plastic. Okay, so all the way up to here has to be a splitter. So we need a lot of compressors here. So right here will pretty much be a solid compressor. The other option, actually, might be easier to hand build. We can start with a splitter and then do an underground past it to give it a full belt later. But the side loading obviously matters to some degree here, so I don't know if we should do that. But yeah, everything with a splitter in front of it needs a compressor from at least 2 lanes, I think. So this is going to be a very expensive section to build, but that makes sense. Okay, then here, at least it's really easy to fall to coal belt, actually. I say that, and then it immediately gets messier. This needs a whole belt. Okay. Why am I using coal there? I don't know why I'm using coal there, but it's fine. Okay, so that needs a full belt. See, I think this is the strat. Just alternating between the two of them as we need. We might have to do some like manual compressors. Okay, so that actually ends there. So that one's good. Can I just like feed this with solid fuel? Yeah, I can feed that with solid fuel. Um, that would probably be better, right? Feed yellow science with solid fuel. I'm not entirely sure though. Feed yellow. Honestly, it's not a ton of yellow science, so it might not matter. Basically, what it boils down to is when this goes online, I think is a lot later than when I want this to be online. But realistically, I need them both to do anything, so it shouldn't matter. Also, I love this belt that's just chain signals weave through yellow science. Okay, so these all end, these all end. This doesn't go through. This one, okay, this one is a full belt. Or this one's up to a full belt, because I think some of this goes into a train. At least this is reminding me, just it's showing me a lot of what I've already built that I kind of, forgot about, which is fun. Okay, so this should be yellow science, right? Or no, this one's yellow science. No. Yellow science was the first one I did, right? That's this row on the side. Yes, that's the, okay. And then I got to the train one, so that is here. This looks like it needs a lot of coal because this goes on circuit logic, so that also needs up to a full belt. Doesn't need a full belt, but it just means we need to prioritize a compressor here. Now those look fine as long as we're not using the as long as they're not using them for fuel or a sushi belt, it can be pretty low density. That's basically the standard if anyone's wondering. Because sushi just doesn't work that well if you don't have an insanely dense belt. Okay, so all of these can just use an inserter. So that's 1, 2, 3. This one ends here. That's 4. This is unsafe. That's not a good design. That's not a good design at all. Yeah, that doesn't work. This does. Really happy that's an easy fix. Okay, so splitter here, though, it looks like. Because that has weird logic on it. I think we need a splitter in this one. And then the rest of them, I said, could be burners. I think for everything that has a burner, we should use at least 2 burners. That seems reasonable to me. This definitely needs a whole belt. Okay. So that splitter, I wish there was a way to mark it that meant I didn't have to scroll down to the bottom every time. But there isn't really a great option for that. Okay, so splitter, burner, 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 burner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, splitter, then 6 burners, then another splitter. Splitter, then 6 burners. Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Oh, that's confusing. Hold on. So these would be the 6 burners. Yeah, this is weird. I forgot we had to loop it around to make them all. So this should still be... No, that one's the splitter. Okay, so it definitely gets off around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So did I mess up one of them? I feel like I got off the count a little bit. I mean, I guess we'll know more later when we actually do the stress tests. That will tell us where there's shortages. That's fun. We're just trying to get a rough idea so we can actually connect it, and then we can change it as we need. But right now, I need something. I need some starting point, and then we can do stage tests. Okay, so all of these are just regular burners, look fine. Because we don't have any fuel consumption outside of that one, right? Yeah, no, that one's good. And then I imagine all of these can use coal. I don't think any of these use the coal for the smelters. Okay, so the rest of them are burner inserters. That would be here, here, here. And then let's move this down. We can even do burner inserters all the way here, which I like. Okay, I think that gives us a starting point. We'll have to do it next time. But this gives us something to work with. It looks like because of this doesn't use any splitters for this ending part, it looks like we only need to bring 1, maybe 2 belts of coal here. And then we don't have to worry about it. But these are pretty short lanes, so I think 1 lane is more than sufficient. I don't think we have any sushi here that's self-feeding. Yeah, I know we had sushi, but I couldn't remember if it was self-feeding. I think we decided against that. Self-feeding sushi is actually it's not that safe. There's a reason when we do it here, we have 3 times the inserters we need. It's just because self-feeding sushi, if the coal is not on one half of the belt and it's instead sent like every half a belt, the inserters can get stuck on kind of like a loop trying to grab it, and they'll just burn out, never grabbing anything. If it's just like the perfect distance away, it's fun. I don't know if fun is the right word. Okay, but this part I'm concerned with. Because we have those splitters to give us a maximum production. But I know that's just for like peak production and saturating the belt. I know our coal consumption isn't actually that high. So if I highlight like all this base, it only uses 1 belt of coal for all the plastic and all the grenades here. So we have the splitters that often because just the start delay is going to be real high while they're consuming plastic. And the choice is either a splitter or like 4 inserters. But I don't think we need the ability to supply an entire belt of coal to all of these. Except for this. Honestly, even this one doesn't need a whole belt of coal. It probably will get one because it's science and it's important. But yeah, that connection will be fun. Feed yellow science with solid fuel is optional. Coal grid or solid fuel to the right. And then also shift coal compressor. Shift 4 wide coal lane down 1 tile. Room for inserters. There we go. Well, technically we have room for a inserter. We don't have room for inserters, so we might as well just shift it all. But I don't think there's going to be any problems with that. So next time we'll be, oh gosh, staging this is. Can I cut stages? Oh, thank God. There is a cut with stage info button. I was really worried that shifting it down was going to be kind of annoying, but there's the mod author is a genius and lets you cut it with all the stages intact, so we don't have to restage everything. I was really worried we were going to have to restage everything on the bottom half of the base, but we'll continue that next time. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a little bit. It's not going to be like that sort of stream, but it's only going to be like 2.5 hours. I have somewhere to be in the evening, so it can't be the typical like 3 hour stream I normally do for designing. Then Sunday, I'm not sure what we'll be doing Sunday. We might have to just plan to not do space exploration for a couple weeks because I do really want to meet the October 13th target. And it's just a whole lot stressful if we let ourselves, or if we're able to work on Sundays as well. That's literally 30% more time to work on it. Like, it's an extra 15 to 20 hours if we were to skip all of the Sundays and possibly Mondays. I don't really want to skip me run Monday, though. We'll see. We made good progress today. But that's it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.